James is a great player, and he brought a lot of attraction to the German Bundesliga. He has been followed internationally in all continents due to his stay at Real Madrid, and now again for a big club like Bayern Munich. So we love it that he's with us in the Bundesliga, because he gives us something extra. Niko Kovac, as a new coach, is a younger coach who did a great job in Frankfurt, being obviously promoted now to Bayern Munich, where he was a player before. So I think it's a good choice by Bayern Munich, and his perception now is, or the impression of him is, and the expectation to win the Champions League, which is not easy for them now. But everything is possible, and so that's where he prepares for, I think. That's a challenge for him, because if you live in a country, you should learn the language, because only then you can say, I've learned about the culture of the country, I've learned about the people. If you don't speak the language, sometimes it's something which you will always regret in your life later on, because people don't ask you about how many games you played for Bayern Munich or whatever. They ask you more, and your children, they ask you more, hey, why, Daddy, why have you been in Germany, and why didn't you learn the language? You ask me now to learn whatever language, yeah? I don't do it because you haven't done it. So it's you should learn the language. Ospina is a great goalkeeper, very brave, very good with his feet. He gave something different to the team than Peter Cech did. Most of the time we played Peter Cech because he's a great goalkeeper as well, and still. Ospina probably had some bad luck, sometimes with injuries where he should have played, and all of a sudden he wasn't available, but he prepared well for the World Cup. He played in the Euro League, the semi-finals against Atletico Madrid, and he's a really good goalkeeper. But unfortunately, with another great goalkeeper next to him, in front of him sometimes, where the decision was not easy to make. Now he went to Napoli, a less physical league than in England, so it's good for him, I think, to play there. Oh, that's a huge disappointment, and obviously I think the most disappointing story in our World Cup history ever. We've never been knocked out in the group stage. It didn't have any consequences, which the German public perceived as being probably a bigger surprise than being knocked out. But now we go on with our coach, Jogi Löw, who has won the World Cup, and who now needs to change the team, himself a little bit, his approach. I think we were lacking 5 or 10%, because everybody was too complacent, neglecting what it really needed to beat teams like Mexico, Sweden and South Korea. We never could imagine losing to Mexico and South Korea in a World Cup, so that was a big blow. I think they deserve to go through. Yeah, they've only got beaten by England on penalties, and that was on one hand a great achievement to go to the knockout stage. On the other hand, I think I've learned here now, within my first day, that the Colombian people expected a little bit more, which is good for a country, because if a country is ambitious, it drives the guys who run the national team, the players and the coaches, to do every day a little bit more, because they cannot afford to disappoint the country. And they have some good players now across Europe. The more players from Colombia go to Europe, the better will be the technical and physiological education, and I expect them to become even better in the next World Cup. I've been asked that question so many times, and it's really difficult to say. I can tell you what my priorities for goalkeepers are, but it's really difficult to pick 3 out of them. We have a very good one, Manuel Neuer, but as a goalkeeper you have to be perfect, to get rid of criticism. Because if you have one weakness, it will be exposed sooner or later, and that's a tough job, but challenging. So you have to be mentally good, you have to organize, you have to be not too nice, you have to be good on your line, you have to come for crosses, you have to sweep. So you need to tick every box, not easy. People from Colombia, I invite you to watch the Bundesliga on Cara del K or on Fox. It's great to see great players, great stadiums. One of your guys, James, who's doing a great job for Bayern Munich. It's a very intense league, very competitive, so come and watch us.